I trusted Google Maps to get to my first job interview by bike and accidentally crossed a military training ground. I was 17 and looking for my first job. I was sending my resume everywhere, and one gas station finally invited me for an interview. The interview was at 10:30, and the place was about 8 kilometers away, so I left an hour early on my bike. It was a nice autumn day, and while riding, I kept going over possible answers in my head. I was using Google Maps, and everything seemed fine at first. Things went wrong during the last 2 kilometers. There was a roundabout, and Google Maps kept telling me to go straight toward what looked like a checkpoint. Every time I tried another direction, the map rerouted me back to the same spot. I really didn't want to miss this interview, so I ignored the "Do Not Enter" sign and went ahead. The road turned into a forest path. People were walking there, so at first it didn't feel that strange. Then it became a dirt road. Still fine. A bit later, Google Maps told me to turn into a field. There was no road at all, just grass and sand. I had about 10 minutes left, and I could see the gas station across the field, so I panicked and decided to go for it. I lifted my bike over some wooden fences and tried riding, but the sand made my bike slide everywhere. Most of the time, I had to push it. There were holes, bumps, and I was already exhausted. After a lot of effort, I finally reached the gas station, only to realize there was a huge metal fence in front of me, about 3 meters high. I followed the fence for a bit on a road that went up and down until I found a hole in it. The grass there was as tall as me, and the path led directly to the truck entrance from the highway. There were trucks everywhere. Somehow I timed it right, ran through, parked my bike, and went inside. People stared at me, but didn't say anything. I did notice there were no other bikes around, which felt strange. Inside, I went to the cashier and said I was there for an interview. She looked at me like she was trying not to laugh and went to get the manager. A guy came over, asked if I was Mike, sat me down, gave me hot chocolate, and told me to wait. At that point, I thought everything was going great. The manager and his assistant came in and started asking questions. I answered them, and it seemed like they liked me. Then the manager asked how I got there. I said I came by bike. Both of them froze and asked how that was even possible. I explained the field, the fences, and the road. That's when they told me the field behind the gas station was actually a military training ground. They stared at me for a second and then started laughing, saying I must really want the job if I was willing to bike through a military base just to get there. I told them I would take the normal road next time, but they explained that the normal route was about 60 kilometers because you have to go around the highway. That was obviously not realistic. They wished me luck and said they would call me on Monday. I left feeling completely stressed. I called my sister to see if she could pick me up by car, but she was in another country. She tried calling friends, but no one answered. Google Maps stopped working because I was basically standing on military territory, so my only option was to go back the same way. Later, this became a joke among my friends. They still say that if there were cameras, I probably got an invitation to join the army. A few days later, the recruiter called me and said they couldn't hire me because of transportation issues, but that they would never forget me.